You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Shameless After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Shameless After Show.
Woohoo! Hey guys, welcome back to another Shameless AFTERBUZZ TV show, episode 9, called The Legend of Bonnie and Carl. I'm your host, JJ Jurgens, and I am solo here on the table here tonight, but luckily I have to back me up and help me out here, Phil in the booth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What a great episode tonight. I was missing last week through no fault of my own, no fault of JJ's. Great interview, by the way, with Sheila. Always a pleasure to have her. I'm excited for this week, though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, real quick back on Sheila. She is just so fun, and she's just one of my favorite guests here. Just so positive. It's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in this episode. Lots of good stuff going on. First, let's start talking about Mickey and Ian, and they're kind of teaming up to get creative and make some money. So we have Mickey, who's still living at the Gallagher's house, and his wife has to, bring over the baby. And I mean, Phil, what do you think about the fact that he hasn't even gone over to see his newborn baby?
Well, I remember last week it was Mandy who came in. She was like, hey, go to the hospital, and he's like, I don't gotta go. Yeah. And she was mad. It's the first. Yes, Mandy's been mad at him several times about various things, but it's always been about Ian, more or less. And now it's about like, okay, I understand you may be in love with Ian, you're never going to say it publicly, but this also happens to be your wife. Like, you know what I mean? We're all dealing with 8,000 things. So you got to face up to this, and he's just not. He's living in this sort of dream land, and now they're pulling the Gallagher scams of the money.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, I thought when they first, when Mickey goes to where Ian works and he's thinking about the club and asking him how much money he gets off of these rich men, and does that happen a lot? I was thinking for a second that he was going to actually go to work dancing as well. So I was kind of surprised when they decided to.
No, but knowing Mickey, again, I'm surprised he's even been at the club as many times as he has, because that's not his MO.
Yeah, exactly. And when I really think about it, I can't really imagine him dancing like that, letting all these like greasy guys, putting their hands on him and down his pants and stuff. So it really makes sense that he got more creative with it and decides to go to rich upscale hotels and get a hotel room and kind of have Ian set people up and bring them up to the hotel room, and then where he's hiding in the closet to blackmail them with pictures. Yes, pretty creative plan they had there.
I mean, at least it's unlike the great Sammy scheme of Sheila's house. It's a little less creative than that.
Yeah, she definitely wins. I think she might win for true best Gallagher scam. There, I was definitely way more involved in a lot of the things they've come up with.
I mean, I like the fact that they're together and they're perhaps doing things together, but I just wish they were positive things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas especially Ian being the type of, he was always a positive role model on Mickey. But ever since this military thing, it has, and we kind of got the story last time a little bit from Ian, but he didn't go fully into it. And so I feel like there's something more there. I don't know, only maybe because I just want to be right. And remember, we opened up the season with, hey, do you know this guy with Lip? And he's like, no, I've never seen him. So I feel like that's going to come back, unfortunately. And yeah, not good, Mickey.
No, and they still haven't really, it hasn't come out what drugs he's on right now either. That we saw him today, like kind of, rub his nose again and allude to that he's still taking drugs. And somebody else comments, I can't remember if it was Mandy or who, but they were like, yeah, I don't know, what drug he's doing. And
the problem is with Fiona being on probation, that could come. I mean, all you need is more coke out there that's being like, because remember she lied to the probation officer, and you know, she remember, I'm not your friend. But like, hey, do you know? And she, you know, she barely scraped by, like, you know, hey, no one in the immediate household, because obviously she was alluding to Frank at the point. But I also worry about that, because if Ian he could be bringing in drugs.
Yeah.
And that's going to screw up Fiona in deep, deep ways.
Yeah, definitely not what they need to have in the house. Yeah, and I also am still worried about this crazy Russian. I mean, she was came up with this whole blackmail scheme, and threatens to expose them and tell his dad, Mickey's dad, that's in jail, and really kind of destroy them. And she's crazy. So I still kind of think something might happen with her, because I just don't think that she can handle them being together.
I mean, if you look at it, we don't spend much time with her. And if you look at it in some sort of weird way, you kind of have to feel sorry for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And you can't, I mean, what is she supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, I totally feel sorry for her. I mean, I can't imagine having a baby and your guy not being there. I mean, even if he's not, even if he decided he didn't want to be your husband anymore and get out of it, to still like not show up at the hospital and still not come over and see the baby once he's born is just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's crazy. But, well, on a better note, we have Mr. Carl now, who has found love for the first time. So this was pretty fun to see, and a little scary, because Carl did not need any encouragement of going down the wrong path. So I'm really scared for the fact that he's teamed up with Bonnie now.
I joked about it, but whatever happened to the Breakfast Club detention style? Like, I mean, just frightening after what happened last week with Frank, and like, hey, these kids need to be bullied, and so that's the last encouragement that he needs.
Yeah.
And he's been around sex his whole life, and remember last season he saw he saw boobies.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
at the camp.
Yeah, he's no stranger to that. But now to find actual love, you'd think that was positive.
Yeah.
But never with Carl.
No. Yeah, you would exactly. You would think maybe it'd be positive, and somebody that would kind of, make him kind of tone down his bad behavior. But yeah, from the get-go, you knew cute as she can be, but you knew she was going to be trouble. And I think it was cute to see Carl in love, and just really having these feelings for the first time for a girl. But I knew once he got back, spray painted the locker so that he could get back in detention and spend more time for her. I mean, I just
question for you. I mean, there's a couple opportunities here, but one of them being Debbie and Carl, because they've gone so far apart this season. Do you think by now, having kind of experienced quote unquote love, that'll kind of bring them back closer together and be like, okay, you know what, maybe we did some stupid things in this, and hopefully the outcome is that, okay, we can't put snakes, and we can't spray paint lockers for the people we love. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, I do, and I hope so, and I think I had it written down, but they had a little talk about love too, and asking, he was asking her when he asked her what love feels like, and this when she was mad, and she's like, oh, when you want to stomp on their heart and you hate them, and so I do think it's going to be something that they bond over, and I think I hope that I don't know, I have a feeling that Bonnie is just gonna make him want to do bad stuff anymore, but even more. But he seems scared of her when she had the gun, and he asks her, like, is that gun real? And she says it's fake, and then they pull it out, and hold it to the guy when they're robbing him, and then she shoots and a real bullet comes out, and she laughs afterwards, and he's like, you said it was fake, and she said, I can't believe that you lied and it was a real gun. But I just see this look of excitement in his face, so I have a feeling that could be a while before he turns.
Well, it's definitely I mean, think about your first crush. I mean, you're already experiencing emotions that you're unaware of, and then couple that, I mean, his happiness has always come from destruction and evil behavior. So the two together is just an ecstasy of emotion. Oh yeah, and they sealed it with a kiss after they did it. So it was like, yeah, I think that you're right. From all he's seen, it could they could get really, really adventurous really soon. Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah, that Carl though, he's always up to something. On another note, we have Frank, who's really in dire straits. Just he's been passed out for 18 hours. He looks terrible. You know, Sammy once again going all out for him, bringing over a resident. You know, not even a doctor, a resident to check him out in exchange for a BJ. I mean, are there any limits she won't go to help Frank out?
I mean, she's a good daughter, I guess, if you want to call her that. You know, I'm interested. This has been one of the most interesting storylines to follow because I just don't know where it's going to go in terms of Frank and how he's going to survive, if he's going to survive. But.
Yeah, I thought, you know, in this one when he was so bad, and then the EMTs come over and he refuses to go, and all he wants to do is go to the alibi. And I caught myself thinking like he can't die, you know, in this season. I'm like, there's no way Frank can die. But then I had the thought, well, it is Shameless. Sometimes you never know what they do. But I think he could very well die. Now, is it, you know, are the odds in that favor? Not necessarily, but you know, by him wanting to go to the alibi, in the past couple episodes, you know, he looks very defeated, and you know, when you say I want to go to the alibi, that's like, okay, I want to go to a place of rest for me, a place of solitude, and kind of die in peace. I totally agree. I think that's what he was asking, because when she did say, do you have a, you know, a resting place picked out, and it's like, yeah, he just always says the alibi, and you know, I mean, can't really blame him on that. It's like cemeteries are such a, you know, I'm not a fan of them. I wouldn't want to be buried underground, and you know, I would want to die where I was happy too. So I think very sweet of her again at the end to bring the bar to him, to have Kev bartending and his regulars there, and Frank just looked so happy. You know, that's what I thought that was almost his final moments, but yeah, he seemed at peace at the end, and really, you know, happy that they shared a little look and a little bonding moment.
I mean, the thing that I'm still, I guess, not confused about, but perhaps mad at, is that people always forget what Frank's done.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank's not a good guy, and so yes, it's a nice moment when they're all together in the Sheila household alibi room. But it shouldn't be. I mean, this guy's he inspires no one. He's a degenerate for all purposes, and he doesn't deserve a nice final resting place. You know?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You can't even list a positive thing that he's done to the family in years, you know, and yeah. He probably he deserves his disease. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the teaser at the end teased him going to, I'm not sure what country, but to get some sort of underground transplant. So we'll see if that happens.
Club inspired.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. So, but we did have Sheila come back, which was so great to see.
Before we talk about Sheila, let's take a quick commercial break to tell you about upcoming TV show that I think you guys can enjoy. It'll feature some behind the scenes of AfterBuzz. It'll feature Maria and Kevin. It'll feature some of me, and I see JJ in there as well. What? So let's take a look.
Tuesdays on Oxygen.
I'm Maria Menounos, and my life can get a little crazy. I host Extra. I'm an actor, producer, dancer, wrestler, and a lot of other things. I live with Kevin, my boyfriend of 15 years. Do you really love me?
I would say that I'm in serious like.
And my parents. Yep, I just said I live with my parents.
You drive me crazy.
You drive me crazy. My parents want us to get married.
You both love each other. Get married.
Kevin and I don't. I am going to get married when I want to get married. I think I want kids. Kevin definitely doesn't want them now.
This is being pushed on to us.
And of course, my parents wanted them yesterday.
This year, you gotta have it.
And I have a house full of people counting on me financially. If I take my eye off the ball, everything can fall apart.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or wants us to do. It's what we want to do.
Everyone thinks that they know what's best for me, but I'm really the only one. I have got to figure things out.
Chasing Maria Menounos is so new. Every Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, starting March 18, only on Oxygen.
Yay!
And again, you know, yes, it is a shameless plug for all of us, but hey, you guys here like AfterBuzz, we try to not inundate you with ads, and we keep the content free for you guys. And so, if nothing else, in return, just wants the show, maybe he'll enjoy it. But if nothing, spread the word. Again, it's the little things that help AfterBuzz.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. Only a couple more days for that. It'll be really fun to see those guys. All right, should we dive back into Sheila?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, so happy to have her back, and it's just funny that she, just takes it in stride. Not so upset that the furniture is gone and sold, and there's a for sale sign outside of her house. How would you feel if you came home, furniture was gone, someone selling your house?
I'd be absolutely livid. But that's Sheila, and she just takes. Again, it's a mixture of her character from Addams Family Values, Addams Family Values, and this where it's just like, oh, okay. And just remember the first couple episodes of this season, like, the bathroom will take me a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And, like, he says, just, oh, my God. But that's why we love her. That's why she brings the comedy, and she was needed back.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I totally missed her, and I loved, and it was sweet. I like that she always has something going on too. Like now, she's so excited because things didn't work out with Roger Running Tree or whatever. Roger Running Tree. She says he has anger issues, and they broke up. But she has such a good heart that she's in love with all of those kids that he had, even though many of them were kind of rude to her. But she's such a compassionate. Yeah. Yeah, so now she has this new plan if she finds out that if she gets married, then she can adopt all of them. So her and her golden heart again. So she's trying to get Frank before he goes to get married to her, and she's going around trying to get into her old wedding dress, which she's lost a lot of weight and has to get that fixed, but really working hard to try to really help those kids out. So you gotta just love Sheila.
But is she really helping those kids? Is she just, again, helping her?
Oh, well, in that case, I think she's helping them too, because he seems like he wasn't who he was saying he was, and she finds out that he's not even really Indian, that he's more Mexican, and so he was a bad dude. And
I buy that, but here the problem with Sheila is that you still have the Gallaghers should you choose to accept them. They got problems going on.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's definitely some sort of sickness for her that she has to be able to, have people there all the time and be helping them out. It's probably to feel like worthwhile, and but I don't know. I just can't blame her because she's so wonderful. But so hopefully Frank will last long enough so that they can get married. And I actually was rooting for those two to get back together. So I don't know why. I guess I don't really want it for Sheila because she deserves so much better, but I liked their interactions together, so I kind of want to see them.
But here's the thing:
together.
Frank can interact with that's his only ability in life is to interact with anybody and manipulate.
I wanted to see. I think part of me wants to see him go through all this and somehow come out a little more redeeming. And
never gonna happen.
I know.
Never gonna happen.
I know, you're right. And then that would probably be boring anyway, but all right. Well, let us know what you guys think. We love to see your comments on iTunes. So go there, rate and comment us. Tell us how you think this season. We're getting towards the end now. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen in the big finale? We'd love to hear what you guys think and have to say about this.
I still think Jimmy Steve. I mean, I know we get so much hate for like
he's
dead, but something about it doesn't feel so good.
I totally agree. Yeah, we get a lot of comments, people mad that we even bring that up, but I'm like, I'm just not. I mean, and I realize people say, well, the not the license, the permit they had for the boat ran out and they didn't get done shooting, so that's why you just never see him going overboard off the boat. But I feel like even if that happened, there's still, it leaves the door wide open where they can decide next season or whenever to bring him back at any time, because we didn't see the body. And I still like him with Fiona.
And I think where she's going through, I guess might as well transition to Fiona.
Yeah.
But where she's going through all of this stuff in a weird way, where she's lied so many times this season. He's been lying, obviously, for the past 3. Them coming together, and remember in season 2 when they had that connection, he's back, and like the music swells. I feel like we would have another moment like that, and now everyone's on the same page, and I think we could get on with life, and he could really help her.
I think that is a great call, Phil. Yeah, I totally agree. Because even when Mike's sister was yelling at her tonight, when she goes back and tries to get, her job at the cup store to say that it wasn't as bad, that they downsized her, and this Mike's sister just goes off on her, which I can totally understand. I would do the same thing if some girl walked in and had done that to my brother, but she just said, you think you're a good person and you're not, and I think that's it's been hard to watch Fiona this season for me, because I was always a cheerleader on her side, but I'm having a hard time with it this year, because again, she was drinking again tonight, and I feel like when do you find when is enough, and when do you stop doing these things? And we have Liam still having nightmares because of the effects of the overdose, and I don't know. I just feel like she definitely has made so many choices, but bad choices.
She just needs to, because it's kind of becoming like Frank, where eventually you're going to be able to justify all this stuff. And that's not what this is supposed to be. She doesn't check off that she's a felon. And yes, obviously it sucks that you have to do that every time, but that is, that's what you did, and you accept it, you pleaded guilty. And you just have to do that. And the point of it is, you're not supposed to look in yourself in the mirror every morning and say, ooh, I like what I am. You're supposed to look in the mirror and say, wow, I really do hate who I am, and I have to rise above this because I have made some bad decisions. And that's it. That's all. That's it. And every day you hope to get better. But if you try and justify it and numb it down with alcohol and other drugs, you're never gonna get there. I mean, I'm really worried about Ian, because he's in that same, but we know less about his situation than we do with Fiona. At least like Fiona, I can kind of pinpoint and say, hey, don't do this because it's affecting this. And
at least Fiona's still kind of who she's always been. A little bit, her personality is still pretty much the same, whereas Ian's kind of like completely different and off. So we don't know what we're getting there. I just lost my train of thought of something I was gonna say about Fiona and her work.
She needs to get back to it.
I know what I was going to say. I am glad, though, that when the leader of the group gives her, offers her connections for a job, and she finds out that it's to be a hooker, I am glad, at least as far as this episode goes, that we didn't see her taking her up on that offer, because that's something I just don't want to see.
Yeah, I mean, again, and you know what? Sometimes it is the little victories, right? So, when you do that, And by the way, going back to the sister thing, right? How easy could it still be to rat out Robbie?
Yeah.
And, talk about a small victory in that sense, too, where, you can obviously discuss that right after. But, you just need those little victories. And so the fact that she's not becoming a prostitute, or hopefully not also going into porn eventually.
Yeah.
That's great. Start there. Build upon that. I know it sounds stupid and whatever else, but start there.
No, true. At this point, it is baby steps with her. Yeah, I'm just really nervous, though. I mean, we see at the very end when she goes over to Robbie's house now, and I just feel like, how do you even... I mean, I realized she was going there to yell at him, and she was just at the end and just, wanted to yell at him. But still, someone who's done all that, it's like you just can't even show up. You can't even let him open a door at all for him to be back in your life. So it makes me very nervous that she showed up there again. And then she's so quickly, you can tell she still has feelings for him, and that she wanted him to, it felt like she was going to go in for a kiss, and then she didn't, but it just... It's still a bad recipe. She still has that addiction for him, I think.
Yeah, and I think, and it's unfortunate because this season has been all about the Gallaghers doing their own thing. And where she's always been taking care of all the other people, and I think she still can, but they don't need her, more or less, but she needs them, but they're not there for her. Even V... she hasn't been there for her much. Everyone's got too much going on, and right now Fiona needs constant care and constant watch. And it doesn't. Yes, Lip's been helpful by yelling at her and being like, "Hey, come on."
Yeah.
But it's unfortunately right now you might need 24-hour support.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I do like that it seems like that Lip and Fiona have repaired their relationship, which is nice to see, because I think that's great for Liam.
But I thought that would be a step, and a start to this whole thing. But you know, again, not checking off felon and all these different things. It's
she's still so struggling.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Well, we have, speaking of Lip, getting in a little bit of trouble here by Mandy. Just when you guys have always liked her, I never really liked her, but in this episode, I was starting to warm up to her again, and then she just goes and does some naughty things. So we see her. We see her helping Deb out when Deb finds out that Maddie has a date, and you know, Deb's just kind of like, you know, it sucks, but he has a date, and blah. And then Mandy's the one who gives her the idea to go after this girl. I mean, what do you think about Mandy still instigating stuff and corrupting little Debs?
I mean, terrible. Because look at what it led to with shoot, what's her name? Laura Wiggins in real life. Sheila's daughter.
Jody? No. Jody?
Jody was her husband.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. How are we forgetting this?
I don't know. It's Laura Wiggins, the actress.
Yeah.
Daughter.
I know, and I follow her. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're sorry. I'm so sorry, Shameless. We know this. Wow.
We'll think of it after we end the show.
Yeah,
That's just what it's going to be. But yeah, using that as a point of discussion, I mean, it ruined this. Like, you talk about Liam having side effects of being, quote, retarded, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, according to Sheila, is okay to say the word retarded. You know, you don't want that for this new girl. No. And with Mandy, that's where it could lead to. Oh, yeah. There was numerous times where I was just cringing because when she puts the snake in the car, first I thought, okay, I didn't know if it was poisonous or not. I mean, I assume not because Deb's put it in her bag, but I didn't know what a bite from that snake might do. And you see it going after the girl's legs. And then she jumps out of the car when there's traffic going back and forth. I thought, oh no, don't tell me she's gonna get like hit by a car. So yeah, it makes me very nervous. But I think Deb's learned a lesson though. I think we'll see her back down on the crazy train after the girl showed back up with a bat on her doorstep after she threatened her. So I'm hoping that Deb's is a little smarter and will not continue to follow Mandy's advice and back down a little bit. I agree. We'll hope. But yeah, back to Lip a little bit then. So Mandy also causes problems for him because she's asking about him, she's curious about him and missing him, and comes over and offers to cook dinner, says she's doing it for Ian, but she knows that Ian's working, so she really just did it, to be there when Lip's around. And then her boyfriend did not like that at all. This boyfriend makes me laugh because he's sleeping with the prostitutes. Yeah. But he has the stereotypical just anger issues of being, living in that type of environment. Yeah. And of course they make the stereotype of having him be a big black man. So even when they're texting, like, I didn't want to say that. Well, they said it like we even saw on the text when Amanda's trying to warn Lip and is like, angry black man running at you. It was like, okay. But yeah. They're shameless. Yes, they are. Yeah. But yeah, you're totally right. I mean, who is he to come chase Lip down at school and get that mad after all the things that he's been doing? And then on a serious note at the end, which I didn't see coming, is Mandy's face being all beaten up, which we can assume was from him then when he got home after being tased at the college. But yeah, it's all this whole season is just bad for everybody. It just really is. We got to find some happiness at the end of this somehow. And the problem is, you could say like, hey, she just has to leave him, and perhaps Lip and her should get back together, and you would think that would be okay. But in this world, again, it's never enough. Just because I think he would get angry again, and it would just start so many fights. Like, it's almost like leaving the mob. Once you're in, and all these emotions are so weirdly tied and connected that it's not easy just to do what normal people might say, hey, leave him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree that's where I think this episode I went back and forth, because when she was first in the kitchen, I thought, okay, maybe I was harsh on Mandy, you know, maybe you know, she did try to help him out, get him into college, and maybe she's changed a little bit, and maybe it wouldn't be so bad. She does kind of take care of him. But then that was gone in about 2 minutes. And, you know, I really liked I mean, Amanda, at least having him, you know, his whole schedule up on the wall and having his whole time management schedule. I realized that, you know, somebody like that, I mean, not necessarily her, but somebody like that with a little more structure and, you know, goals in their life would be good for him. And when, you know, he says, you know, I mean, she has everything down to like 45 minutes till blowjob sessions. And, you know, and he's like, oh, I'm not like this. I can't live like this in the structure. You know, he likes what he had. And then she's like, how's that working out for you? So, you know, I think, and he listened to her. And so I think he's open to kind of getting out of that madness and seeing what else he might be able to do with a little bit of that out of his life, hopefully.
I agree. I mean, you know, it's a fine balance, and you know, Lib's been, luckily, I think Lib has been so far the best out of all of them. I mean, he's obviously struggling through all of it, but nonetheless, in terms of bettering himself as a person, he's been a little bit selfish, quote unquote, by wanting to go to college and continue. You know, that was the big worry for us. Is he going to stay in college? But he has stayed, and he is still managing to help the Gallagher household. And, you know, now that he's learning time management, you know, I believe out of all of them, he can kind of pull out maybe. Yeah.
I think you're right. And I really want to see that. I don't want to see him drop out. And it seems, you know, even, you know, Fiona was so supportive of him during this episode too, of you're not dropping out, you're staying. I'll get the job again. I'll figure out how to make things work. And I really want to see that. I want to see something positive. Yeah, you know, I think there has been so much just destruction, and even this episode, writing on my notes, it's just like everything, that so many people are up to so many bad things. But so I'm really getting excited for when Kevin V have their babies, because I'm looking for a little joyous moments.
Speaking of other joyous moments and destruction breeding creation, there's a great website called Squarespace.com. It's the all-in-one platform that makes website building easy, fast, and affordable. It's only $8, and you get a free domain.
That's awesome.
Right off the bat, you know, use the promo code Shameless, the show you're listening to get that 10%. And just so many benefits, right? So if you're listening to this, you know, maybe you need just a website for yourself, right? Especially in this day and age, right? We talked about Fiona going to the job market. Sometimes you need a website for your own self just to help give you a little bit of a boost. Other times, you know, you're starting your own small business. Hey, you need a website. And so Squarespace makes that easy, fast, and affordable for you. Again, it's in terms of e-commerce, it's really great. It's great. In fact, a lot of my hosts use it to sell some of their fashion clothes that they do, you know, and create jewelry, stuff like that. So it's great for that. And obviously in today's day and age, so many different devices, whether iPhones, tablets, computers, different computer resolutions. And what's great about Squarespace is that they make all of these different things, what they call responsive, so that it looks great on every single device you can possibly imagine. Now, a lot of times I hear that most people don't start a website because of, you know, being too scared, not really understanding.
I was one of those.
Yes, you were. We got you through it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, you know, with Squarespace, it's so simple and easy, and not only that, you get the support that you want. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week, or as sometimes I like to do, round up, so 25/8 support. You know, they're there for you, and you get actual people. You know, so many times, how are you going to get help on a website if it's you know, just a machine? Hey, hit this button for this. Like, you know, you need someone to actually help guide you through it, and that's what they have. So Squarespace.com, promo code Shameless, get 10% off your first purchase. Refer a friend, and again, it's just going to help you out so much. So if you've been neglecting building a website, definitely give it a shot.
I definitely, just to add a quick note on that, it really is great. And, you know, I've paid people before a bunch of money, a lot of money to do my website. And the thing with that is then anytime you need an update, anytime you need something changed, you got to pay for it again. And you really is, once you like do this and learn how to do it and have the support, you really actually feel really like good about yourself. Like, oh, I accomplished that and I can do this. And it's a real boost, I think, for whatever it is you're pursuing and doing to learn that skill on your own and save some money.
Be like Lip.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Fight on through.
Yeehaw. Well, should we, I think that was about it. Anything else to add, Phil?
Let's see. Who else didn't we kind of touch upon?
Oh,
we were going to talk about Kevin and V just a little bit, just to get an update from them.
Yeah, we didn't, you know, we really missing them this episode. Didn't see too much. I really I just can't wait for that water to break and for these babies to be here, because I just, I love those guys so much. I'm
excited for it too, you know, and especially after what happened, you know, well, what's been happening the full season of, you know, I mean, but I'm half worried because now there's going to be 800 guns everywhere and this and that. And
yeah.
How they, you know, he's worried about the zombie apocalypse. So I'm curious to see how this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a very joyous event, but you know, I need Kevin V to take care of the Gallaghers. They're not ready to be on their own without the support of Kevin V, and that's unfortunately what it could mean.
Yeah, no, I think you're really right. Like the Gallaghers really need them, that solid force to bring. They're going in so many different ways. I am also a little worried. I hope V keeps it together tonight when she was raving about how she can't wait to drink again. You know, making Fiona drink double for her since she couldn't right now, and how she wanted that drink right as soon as she pops the baby. So I just hope that it could be a dangerous combo with his guns, and if she starts drinking a lot, and we got 2 babies in the house. I can't handle much more drama.
I can't either. Prediction time?
Yeah, let's go predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, I mean, we see for the preview for next week that it looks like Fiona goes back to Robbie's house, and now she has the ankle monitor off and doesn't come home, misses curfew. So I mean, it's not a big prediction since we saw that, but I just think bad news for Fiona next week. I think we're going to hit a real low.
Yeah, I mean, you were going to get 5 years already. How low can you?
I know.
How low can? I mean, the only positive thing that would come out of it, perhaps, would be that he would get arrested too.
Then they wouldn't even be together in jail, so she wouldn't even have a jail romance. Yeah, I didn't want to see that, because her doing drugs and drinking and all that again, and I just hate Robbie. I was so mad to see his face again this episode, so. I was really, I mean, I knew we wouldn't see him, but when she went back to the work, I was really just hoping for a little sneak peek of Mike to come out and just, I don't know.
Here's what I hope, you know, I really want the show, and I think they're going to pull it off. But I don't want this to be like a serialized Long Day's Journey into Night where, you know, you take this family that sort of, you know, isn't in the best of places to begin with, but is somewhat happy and can get through life, and just crush him and grind him down and use it as a cautionary tale for everyone of like, wow, holy smokes, this is, you know what I mean? And so I hope that the show, which, by the way, you know, that wouldn't be bad to see either, but, you know, Shameless is supposed to be my comedic relief in some sense.
I know, they haven't given us much lately. Whew. Yeah. Do you think that Frank is going to get the transplant? And will it be successful?
I don't see them killing off Frank just yet. I think, you know, Kev said it in the past, but I think he's the rat that just survives, you know, with whatever he does. And so I think somehow we're going to find a way, and he's going to be saved, and he's going to be on more borrowed time than he already is.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think since this season we've seen he's pretty much been this way the entire season. So I mean, he has. So I think that it will be successful, and I think that could make for a really interesting next season. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again next week. You can follow me at JJ Jurgens everywhere, and my blog at tomgirl.tv.
And follow us here at AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Keep the conversation going. We miss Dre and Joyce tonight, but they will be back, we swear.
Yes.
And once again, check out Chasing Maria Menounos on Oxygen Tuesday nights, starting this week, March 18th at 10/9 Central. You're not going to want to miss it. It's, again, an inside look at Maria's life and the craziness around her. Again, just another kind of crazy family.
Yes.
So I imagine you kind of would like it. And, if you do need a website, again, just check out givesquarespace.com a shot. Use the promo code Shameless. Get 10% off. See if you like it. You probably will.
And in honor of Shameless, everybody go hit your local bar tomorrow and have a green beer for St. Patty's Day. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.